The PlayStation Plus double discount sale is still rolling on. Yesterday we took a look at some great deals under $10, and in today's video we're raising the budget to everything else available. We're looking at 8 games, and remember, if you still have that PlayStation Store 20% off discount code, you can use that towards these games. I know a lot of you guys still have yet to redeem that. There's one that's ending on April 30th, so if you have a code, not a bad idea if you use it towards some of these games and make already good deals even better. So without further ado, we've got 8 deals to go over, so let's get right into this. First, Battlefield 1 Revolution for $17.99. Battlefield 1 was an excellent first-person shooter, changed the Battlefield formula a little bit by taking place in World War I. However, you can still see that the essence of Battlefield was completely there. That's not a bad thing at all, because Battlefield is regarded as one of the best multiplayer first-person shooter franchises of all time. And yes, while the games do emphasize multiplayer, there's a solid single-player campaign in Battlefield 1 as well. And this is Battlefield 1 Revolution, so you're getting with it a ton of downloadable content that's going to make the multiplayer experience even deeper. $17.99 is a real solid price for the complete package of Battlefield 1. I should also mention that if you've yet to check out Titanfall 2 and you want both BF1 and Titanfall 2, you can pick up a bundle for both of those games for just $20, and that's a ridiculous deal. Otherwise, if you're just looking for BF1, this is a great deal standalone.
Objective Charlie. The enemy controls all objectives.
Munition, hier!
Crash Bandicoot the Insane Trilogy for $23.99. We were wanting a new Crash Bandicoot game for so long, and while we didn't get a brand new game, we did get Crash Bandicoot the Insane Trilogy last year. This is a remastering of the 3 first Crash Bandicoot games, arguably the best in the franchise. Those games originally released on the PlayStation 1, and they were all excellent platformers. The Insane Trilogy brings them to the PlayStation 4, and you would think with these being remasterings of PlayStation 1 titles that maybe they haven't aged all too well, but they look beautiful on the PlayStation 4. $24, you might think that's still a little bit steep for what is 3 PlayStation 1 titles, but I'm telling you, it's absolutely worth it if you're a fan of platformers. Next up, we have Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition for $11.99. Divinity Original Sin is a great RPG, but I should warn you that this may not be the typical console-style RPG that you're familiar with. This game originally made its name on PC, and it was definitely centric for PC consumers in that it didn't hold your hand much. It really left you to your own devices and figuring the game out for yourself. The game does require a bit of patience, but there is an amazing world to get yourself absorbed into with a lot of content. Considering that Divinity 2 is on the way to the PlayStation 4 later this year, that game already released on PC and is heralded as one of the best RPGs of all time, now isn't a bad time to check out Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition, and $11.99 is a great price.
Inquisitor, a completely new class. Classes in Original Sin Enhanced Edition are archetypes, and you can completely customize them at your will as you level up with new ways to fight, grenades, dual wielding, and of course, wands. Depending on your desired difficulty mode, the combat in Original Sin Enhanced Edition can be torturously tactical or bright and breezy. It just depends on your playstyle. Take advantage of crowd control spells such as Petrify, Charm, and Freeze, required in the harder difficulty settings, or simply ignite, inflame, poison, and electrify your way through the world.
Dragon Age Inquisition Game of the Year Edition for $11.99. So if you want your more console-style RPG experience, Dragon Age Inquisition might be the better option for you. This was probably the very first great PlayStation 4 RPG, but at this point it does fall behind to some of the other great RPGs such as A Witcher 3 or some of the JRPGs like Persona 5. Dragon Age Inquisition, however, is still a very solid game. It's got some great visuals, solid mechanics, a pretty good story in there as well, and the Game of the Year edition includes a lot of the extra content, so $11.99 you're getting a wealth of content for your money. Rise of the Tomb Raider 20-year celebration for $17.99. Rise of the Tomb Raider is one of those games that a lot of PlayStation 4 owners missed out on, but it was for good reason. It originally came out on the Xbox One in 2015, and PS4 owners didn't get the game until a year later in 2016. Now, Square Enix did try to enhance the PS4 version. They included extra content, there's a VR component to it, so this is overall definitely a better version than the original release, and I would still say it's worth a buy. If you played the Tomb Raider reboot back in 2013, this game is just better in nearly every regard. Better gameplay with more variety, a far better story with a great antagonist, and a bigger world with more to do. And $17.99 is a pretty good price for Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Thermite screw. Set the charge. There's only ready.
Next up, we have a very recent release in Burnout Paradise for $29.99. Now, I wanted to mention Burnout Paradise on here because it's one of my favorite games of all time, but even I was vocal about how EA priced this game on launch. $39.99 for Burnout Paradise, come on, that's a little bit too expensive. This game released back in January of 2008. It was over a decade old and you're charging $39.99 for it? But hey, everybody had such fond memories of Burnout Paradise, so we kind of just let that slide. However, now that it's already down to $29.99, this is the price it should have launched at, and without a doubt, Burnout Paradise is an awesome arcade racer. If you've never played Burnout Paradise, I'm telling you, you gotta check it out. It's a lot of fun. It's got some great music, high-octane gameplay. It is just a blast to play, and maybe for some of you, you still think $29.99 is a bit too expensive, but for that price, I would say it's worth it. If you want a cheaper racing game option, we do have Dirt 4 that's on sale for $14.39. Dirt is one of those long-running racing game franchises that really hasn't gotten as popular as you would expect it. However, the franchise has been very consistent and the games are a ton of fun with gorgeous visuals. The games are rather accessible at first, but if you want to get really into the game, there is also that learning curve there. It's a game where you can invest a lot of time into, and now that it's down to $14.39, that's a great price for Dirt 4. And finally, a deal that might be going under your radar a little bit, Marvel Ultimate Alliance Bundle for $23.99. Now, I have to mention one thing. When Activision released the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games on the PlayStation 4, just like Burnout Paradise, they got the pricing wrong, but even more egregious than Burnout Paradise. This bundle was $60. Yes, $60 for these two games, and honestly, these aren't much of a remaster, rather they are ports. So the gaming consumers definitely gave Activision a lot of hell for that one, but now that the Marvel Ultimate Alliance bundle is down to $24, you get Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2. Honestly, at that point, $12 each for the game, I would still say that's a little bit too expensive. The bundle probably should have launched at $30, and at this point it should be like $15. Still, with that aside, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2 are great games. There are a lot of fun action games, and of course with the stylization, presentation, and all of the superheroes to play as, you're gonna have a good time if you're a fan of Marvel. At $23.99, yes, the price is still a little bit steep, but at this price, I would say that it's worth a buy. That is going to complete our coverage of the PlayStation Plus double discount sale. Again, if you want cheaper options, we uploaded a video yesterday going over deals under $10. Otherwise, these deals are pretty good as well, just a little bit more expensive. Let us know what games you've picked up from the double discount sale. Sound off with your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.